This is the most controversial video I'm going to be making. Before I talk about the actual series, I want to talk about what makes a series good or bad. The first is when you're watching it, you shouldn't feel like you're watching a TV show. This means it shouldn't have the quality of those low budget TV shows you watch when you're changing channels on a random Monday afternoon. Instead, you should get the feeling of every episode of that series being a movie. Prison Break is one of the most worst series I have ever watched. The first season is a masterpiece. However, the remaining 4 seasons and approximately 100 episodes are an absolute piece of garbage, and watching them is a waste of time. The first problem with this series is how unrealistic the scenarios are. The script of this series is inches away from what you would get from watching a Bollywood movie. An example is when Michael Scofield wanted to break into one of the most secure buildings in the world, which is the CIA building. Not only that, but he also wanted to break into the most secure room of that building, which has a face detector that scans your iris and face. Only the chief or leader of the CIA can enter it. Michael Scofield literally broke in by drawing a tattoo of the CIA chief's face on his hands, and the scanner miraculously scanned that tattoo and let Michael Scofield into the most secure room in the world. If you were to try that on your Apple Face ID scanner, it wouldn't work. This technique will not even work with a $50 Android phone on Alibaba. So how does it work when entering the most secure building in the world? The second problem with this series is how they're milking the idea of breaking out of prison to the point where Michael Scofield would be randomly waking up in a different prison on the second season only after escaping in the first season. Not even El Chapo with his criminal record has been put in 5 different prisons. It became obvious that the producers of this series are more concerned about making money from new episodes than actually thinking about making the quality of those new episodes better. The second series is The Walking Dead. Everything I said about Prison Break applies to this in addition to some things. The first problem is that the series has no purpose, meaning that you as a viewer do not understand what the whole point of the series is. Prison Break, for example, is talking about a person who wants to escape from prison, and that's the purpose you're watching it. The Walking Dead, on the other hand, is an absolute mess. 30 episodes into the series and I still don't understand what's happening or what anyone is trying to achieve. The idea of this whole series in itself is outdated and terrible. The least creative series or movie you can create is one that's about zombies. The third series I want to talk about is Vikings. Any episode you watch after season 3 on Vikings is garbage. After Ragnar died in season 3, the viewers' understanding of the series is totally gone. The show should have been ended there, but instead they decided to create 3 more seasons of this show. All episodes after season 3 are either too confusing or too boring. The fourth series is Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad in itself isn't a bad series, however it's extremely overrated, meaning that there are so many series you can watch that are better in quality than Breaking Bad. In addition to that, the series can be extremely boring in some episodes, where you spend half of the episode watching Walter White either arguing with Skyler or his son. The last series I want to talk about is Game of Thrones. The main problem with this series is that people cannot erase their memory and watch this series all over again.